Happy Sunday, everybody, and welcome to Heart Talks with Dr. Gloria. I'm Dr. Gloria Thomas Anderson, your host, and I'm delighted today to have Miss Shawana Carter of the Carter's House in Dallas, Texas, as our special guest. Welcome to the show, Shawana. I'm so excited to have you here, what the work that you're doing and what God is doing through you. Would you tell us just a little bit about Carter's House?
Sure. Thank you for having me, Miss Gloria. Carter's House is a clothing bank for children and teens. At least that's what we started as.
Uh-huh.
7 years ago, we've kind of transitioned into programming to help families become self-sufficient and provide support, parental support groups, so that parents have a safe place to talk about their parenting journey. And then we've also turned into like a kind of community activism or just, improvement type organization. So we do quite a bit, a whole lot more than whatever hits the pamphlet. So annually, we provide clothing to children from newborn to 18 at a low cost to their parents. We do charge a $10 admin fee for them to come and shop. If they don't have it, we still see them. So we do give that waiver. We're not going to turn anybody away. Beginning 2021, we'll start adding in adult clothes, take care of the whole family, make sure they have a one-stop. And so that's kind of what we do in a nutshell.
Well, how did you get started in that? I mean, what prompted you to start the Carter's House?
So my baby girl is 13. So 11 years ago, my husband and I at the time had separated for about 6 months. My children and I moved in with a friend. We got back together. But we had, in the previous 4 years, we had moved about 9 times during that time frame. And so we were financially tapped out. We were destroyed at that point. We were unable to get an apartment. We found ourselves living in a motel with 3 of our 4 kids. And so, which actually started in like May of that year. And by August, of course, it's time to get ready for school. And I am trying to figure out like how we gonna find these kids uniforms. And so I realized that's when I first learned what the McKinney-Vento Act is. According to school districts, it just redefines what homelessness is. You don't have to necessarily be street homeless in order for the school district to consider you homeless. And so I reached out to my daughter's school. My daughter was a first grader. She's now a senior. Yay. I reached out to her school and they were able to provide us with 2 uniforms for her per semester. And that was wonderful. We were very, very grateful. However, at the time, Miss Gloria, I had an 8th grader who's now 25, who was already wearing adult male size clothes. And they didn't have anything that big. And so I had a luxury that most of my parents don't have. I was able to call my parents and say, I need some help. And they were able to assist us. And so what I realized after our dealings with the school district, they really do want to help, but of course they have limitations as to what they can do and guidelines as to what they have to take care of. And so what I found out is that parents who are not in a homeless crisis or homeless situation, they don't get the same support as the ones who don't have anywhere permanently to live. And so Carter's House was created with the belief that we would help those who are in that in between, and that's generally who I see. Those who are just between paychecks or have hit a rough patch and found themselves in a place where they just need some help. That was why we started. I really did have a whole moment about 32. And I'll tell people I had a midlife crisis. I was just like, Lord, look, can you tell me what you want me to do with the rest of my life? Because I don't want to have to reinvent myself. Go ahead and tell me what it is and let me get to work now. And this is what he gave me.
And so that's what he directed you to. So you've helped a lot of people, a lot of families, and I know that the communities you serve are just really grateful to have you and your work doing that.
Thank you.
I recently saw something very, very exciting about you. Yes, you were one of the national awards by Matthew McConaughey.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us a little bit, how did you feel getting one of those awards for being one of the organization that is doing something really good for a community?
It was it's kind of shocking but exciting, very humbling experience, very much so. And so I didn't know I was even nominated for it until like a week before. My friend who nominated me called and said, I need you to do something for me on the 27th. You can't tell me no. And I was like,
Oh.
what do you mean I can't say no? I don't think I like this. Um, he was like, no, you just cannot tell me no. You can do whatever you want, but please don't say no. And so I found out later that he had written a nomination for me to get the award.
Oh.
He actually conferred with one of my mentors, and they both agreed that it should be me.
Oh.
I was taken aback to think that people think of that much of you,
Yes.
and feel like you've done a job that, for me, this is not work, it's just everyday life. But for somebody to look at it and say you deserve this, is very humbling. And so the whole experience was, it was just exciting. I had a cameraman in my house for 2 days, a professional. I'm like, whoa, we're getting real. I gotta get all cute. I had to call my daughter to come do my makeup, like, come fix mama's face, please. I don't wear makeup on a regular basis, Dr. Gloria, so I never would have done that. And when the camera came on, it was a total shocker that it was Matthew McConaughey. Um,
Oh, so you
I
didn't
did
know
not
you didn't know
know.
that he was gonna be the
No,
oh my gosh.
no,
Oh my
ma'am. They told me
gosh.
all week that it would be a VIP from their company. That's all they kept saying, was it'll be a VIP.
Wow.
Nobody said it was him. And so when it came on, I'm gonna be real honest. I initially was like, "Am I tripping? That can't be him. It can't be." Because and he has that voice, and we all,
Yes,
like, he never has to show his face in a commercial. We know it's him.
that's right.
Um, and so when he came on, initially started talking, and he had his face covered up, I was like, I know that voice. I do.
Uh,
Each year across the globe, Wild Turkey and I team up and give thanks to amazing folks who've given back to their communities with unwavering conviction. Today we're calling local legend Shawana Carter in Dallas, Texas. Shawana, can you hear me? Oh my God! How'd you get started with the Carter's house?
I always knew there would be some part of my life where I would give back. We served almost 1,000 people.
Check out the full episodes, and here's to local legends with thanks. Cheers.
And took his hands down. I was like, I just got new glasses. I can't be tripping. That's not Matthew McConaughey on my screen. And he kept talking, and I was like, it is him. It is him.
yeah.
So yeah. But it was almost like life altering, like not that I've arrived, but that
Yeah.
you've managed to impact to that level.
Oh,
And so,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. That is just really exciting. When you're doing something that matters, you mentioned you don't really know what you're doing that's impacting other people because you're busy doing it, right?
Correct.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, other people are seeing that though, and they're
Yeah.
noticing it, and you're making an impact. So God bless you for the work
Thank
that you're
you.
doing. What are some of the stories you've heard from some of the families that you've served so far?
So we always ask our parents when they come and shop with us. Okay, so we have figured out that on average, a family saves $100 per child per season when they shop. They leave our office with a minimum of, when it's regular clothing, which is blue jeans, t-shirt, shorts, summer clothes. They leave with about 5 outfits per kid, and when it's school uniforms, which we are one of like 3 providers after October. Uniforms, they get at minimum 3 uniforms per child. So that's easily, depending on the size, could run a family another $100. And so we asked them, what do you do with these funds? And so I've had parents respond that I'm gonna get to pay some rent. We'll get to buy groceries. We get to pay something on our light bill. And so it's those things is what we want them to do is take this savings and then put it toward your roadmap to being self-sufficient. I have no problem helping you get where you need to go. I've had grandmothers come in who are raising grandchildren and are at their wits' end because they are just tired. And we, in our office, Dr. Gloria, we have had a single father bring his daughter in. So I combed her hair on the weekend, bring her to me on a Saturday. He couldn't get there through the week. Bring her to me on a Saturday, and we sit right there and combed her hair. We have had customers, my daughters come in and braided hair. We have babysat our customers' children. We had a customer who was in a class in our building, and she needed to get to class at 9 o'clock and couldn't afford daycare. We kept our kids in the office while she went to class. And so we are building this community, and we want people to understand, like, listen, you can build whatever type of community you want for your family. You need to find the people to circle you that are trying to go where you want to go. And then those of us who are already there are more than happy to guide you to get there. I'm not going to make you do anything, but if you need my help, I am here to help you. And so these are the things that, make this work worthwhile. This past back to school event, my very first card, Dr. Gloria, was a grandmother raising 7 grandchildren. And she was at her wit's end, broke down in tears because I gave her 5 backpacks. And I was like, hey, calm down. Don't cry. Because if you cry, then I'm going to cry. So please don't cry. Don't cry today. But it was that emotional to her because she was like, everywhere I go, people go, we can't help you, have too many children. And I'm like, child, please. I've had people, somebody going to pull up in this line today with 10 kids. 7 don't scare me at all.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's those stories. We've had parents come in our office, and we pray in our office. We chastise and love. We celebrate their victories. We've had parents come in who have been in a shelter for 6 months and walk in the door and get the email that says, I'm getting my housing. We will stop in the middle of shopping and have us a little praise break because you deserve to tell God thank you right this moment. When you have survived that. And so that is where we are. It is what we do. It is what makes us different. It makes us stand out. And it's always an honor to find out that somebody is watching you, and not just watching to be watching, but watching to make sure that you get recognized for the work you do.
So what's next for you for the Carter's House?
Oh, so I'm in the process of writing out my 2021 goals. We are getting ready to start discussions to begin our very first capacity building campaign. We need to find a facility, and it's beyond what this is a lot bigger than I ever thought that God was going to make it. And so I've had to remember that I am a business. I'm just in the business of charity. And so I've had to readjust my thinking, and I've prayed, and God showed me to make sure that, steward the money right. And so one of our biggest things for 2021 is to grow and get enough donations to start looking at a facility. We are expanding our parent support group. We're looking to go into West Dallas. We currently do it in a partnership with UNT Dallas, serving 6 zip codes. So we want to continue to build that up. I know that it sounds funny, and I always tell people when I talk about the group is not here to tell you. I tell them all the time, I'm not here to tell you how to parent your kid. You're grown. You know how to do that. You know what works in your house. But I want to give you some different perspective. Try something new. Maybe this works. Because I have 4 kids, and each one of these kids are different. And any mama will tell you, you never have the same child twice. So we want to expand the parent support group. I think that our communities have lost the part where we are growing as a village or building villages. And so that's what our group is called. It's called The Village. We want to teach our parents how to build your own village. Find those that help you. They care about you and your children. I tell my mamas all the time, listen, it's okay to have your friends you go and hang out with. It's all good. That's totally normal. You need to have them same friends wake you up on Monday and say, hey, we hung out all weekend. Now it's time to go to work because the kids got to eat. And so that's part of our 2021 goals is to expand. And then, of course, we always want to make sure we are getting the items that we get donated into the hands of those who need them. So we'll do a couple more pop-ups this year, make sure we're reaching the communities that need us the most, the ones who are often forgotten. So it does mean we'll increase our outreach. We'll probably hit a couple new neighborhoods and pop-up boutiques. This is new territory for us to go out. Usually everybody comes to us. So I'm trying to get my team on board and understand we want to go out there a little bit more often. But that's really where our focus is for 2021 is to increase the number, not just increase the number of people we serve, but to make the community understand that we are here and we're not going anywhere. That's a big deal for me. That we are here. So
that is beautiful. I wanted to find out also from you, one of the things that you said about the village, I want to point that out first. I do believe that it takes a village. That saying that's been said a lot. It does take a village, and that there are supports. We need those supports. Our children need support. Parents need support. I'm a social worker by profession, and one of the things that I was really excited to hear about your work is that you are looking at the need for kids to be well dressed, that they can, because we know that children are going through a developmental stage, right? And when they're going through that, they need to feel good about themselves. So their self-esteem is involved in that when they don't have the right clothes, or when they go to school and they don't have things that they need, and other kids can be kind of cruel too. um,
Absolutely.
they can be very cruel, not meaningfully, I don't think people do it, but we know that it happens, and so it prepares the children to be ready to learn, as you faced
Absolutely.
in your
Mhm.
work, to help them be ready to learn by being well dressed. So
Correct.
that is beautiful. How I want to ask you, how can we help? How can others help you at this point to reach those 2021 goals that you've established?
Of course, money is always good. My bookkeeper and my treasurer will be upset if I didn't mention it. So you can always donate via our website, cartershouse.org, and click the donation page. We are actually launching our first real big coat drive this Friday, on Black Friday. We'll be, and so I don't know if this will air in time, but we have a page on our website that's a coat fundraiser. And if you buy a coat on our website, the company that we use for the fundraiser will give us a coat. So essentially, you paid for one, but you bought us two. And so we want to push that really hard. That will help us make sure all of our babies are warm this winter. And then so you can donate. You can donate your gently used items. We never have enough boy clothes. So anybody listening that has little boys, I don't care what age and what size, I never ever have enough. Our boys grow so quickly, and as parents, if anybody has a boy, I have two. Well, they're young men now, but it's we always let them wear their stuff until they to the end, and we have to go shopping. And nobody ever wants to give me those things, which I appreciate.
Mm.
But we never have enough boy stuff from newborn all the way until they're ready to stop coming to us. So I need those things desperately. That's always a need. And helping us getting the word out. You can be an ambassador, sign up. We have board positions available if you're interested in finding out how to serve. Volunteer with us. We have a volunteer link that goes up regularly on our social media pages. Feel free to jump in and come hang out with us. Listen, we have a good time. You're guaranteed if you hang out with me, you're going to catch me dancing and possibly singing at some point, and I can sing.
Oh,
So you
wow,
come
you
on
can
out and hang
sing.
out.
That is
I
great.
do
Well,
sing, yes, ma'am.
well,
No, not today, Dr. Gloria.
you know,
I heard it coming. No, ma'am.
oh goodness, Shawana, I was hoping to hear a little something here, a little
No,
something. I
ma'am,
hope
not
to hear it
today.
on
No, not today. Look, I have
Sunday.
an event on Saturday. I'm trying to get my voice back from that event.
Well, thank you, dear. But what's one inspiring or encouraging thing that you can share with our audience today?
I always try to remind people that where you are is not where you stay. Remember that. It doesn't matter if it feels like it is the lowest or the highest. Remember that there is some piece that will move. Change, of course, is inevitable. Be flexible. And if it feels like it's super rough, wake up tomorrow. It might feel better.
Powerful words. Powerful words. Well, thank you, Shawana. This has been wonderful. I thank God for you, for the work you're doing. Continue forward, and I'm sure God's going to send you more help.
Yes, ma'am. I'm praying for it. Thank you, Dr. Gloria. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. God bless you.
Bless you.
And thank each of you for joining us today. I hope that something was said to inspire, encourage your heart, and also that you're able to connect with Shawana to do what you can. I know your heart's probably been tugged at it as mine has. Let's do something to help her out. God bless you all. Bye bye.